Peace and blessings, Jaguar Nation. It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Licensed and Broadcasting Community. Shout out to the Louisiana All-American Sports Network. Last but certainly not least, shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Of course, tonight was 2024 homecoming for Southern University Jaguars. A.W. Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field was the location. Just to kind of give you the backstory of, the day. We got a later start than usual for homecoming, and traffic just all around was just savage. It took us probably about 2.5 to 3 hours just to get on campus. Like, traffic was terrible, so it was difficult to get on traffic. The traffic was terrible. It was difficult just to get on campus. Right, we got on campus. We ended up parking not right across from TT Lane, not in the parking lot, but in like that crosswalk area, like across from there, before you go to like the back, that bridge to go to the dorms in the back, like that area leading in that direction. It's like this ground area as you going towards that bridge to go in the back towards the dorm. That's where we ended up parking. And, people all over the place. It was ridiculous. Of course, a lot of people riding on golf carts, all type of golf carts, whatever the case may be. It was just like literally people all over the place. So, one of the issues we had was, once you get on campus, like once you get in a high volume area with a lot of people, like the cell service was just terrible. So we hadn't put the tickets in the wallet. So we trying to put the tickets in the wallet, accept the tickets so we get it straight in terms of going in a A.W. Mumford Stadium. And, just like I told a story about, when we were kids, just people just start running, whatever. It's like multiple stories, various stories. Like I heard five people tell different stories. So evidently some little youngsters, they start scuffing, they start scrapping, fighting or whatever. And people just start running. So we standing in front of Tony Clayton Plaza, and, we just see a bunch of people just running in our direction. And I'm like, I told my mom, like, hey, don't move, just stay right here. So, we standing. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. And, of course, it's people all over the place. And if you're a heterosexual male, women from every direction, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about from like teenage all the way up to like older, and all shapes, all sizes, all complexions, from real thin to like extremely overweight. And you're talking about individuals with very little clothing on. A lot of these girls had the crop tops, with all the stomach out. And I don't care if she had like washboard abs or she had, a huge stomach. Like, it was, everything goes. And evidently the ruffle skirts must be in season. I saw so many of these like extremely short, like ruffle skirts. I'm like, man, this must be the new trend. And of course, at one point, everybody running in like a minute later, like 6 Louisiana State troopers came walking in that direction. So evidently, getting all the various stories, like some little youngsters start fighting. If I had to bet, which I'm not certain, probably, opposing gangs. It's bad news. I don't understand why they act like it's the south side of Chicago or South Central LA or New York or wherever. It might have been like some 300, 600 vultures, bleeders or whatever, probably got in a fight. So they probably was fighting. Evidently, somebody say one of them up with a gun. Didn't start shooting, but up with a gun. And that's why everybody just came running in our direction. It was crazy. And, prior to that, you see all these girls with short skirts, the alcohol in their hand. There, one girl, she was a little bit overweight, and she had an extremely short skirt on with a thong underneath. And I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, like, baby, we could see all your business. And then her friend next to her had a shirt so short. She had evidently it was like a scooter skirt or a skirt. Like, it was a real short skirt. And she kept trying to pull it down. And I'm thinking to myself, baby, you don't have enough skirt to pull down. You trying to pull it down, but it's too short. So, it was just crazy. A lot of these, I don't know, a lot of these women was attractive. Some of them, not so much, but, a lot of beautiful women, just women of all complexions, all shapes, all sizes. And, it was just a packed atmosphere. It was real electric, real vibrant. It was the place to be, And then, get in the A.W. Mumford Stadium. A few people was like, hey, coach, I like your content, whatever. Everybody, that showed me love. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And somebody was like, hey, I saw you and I saw Scotty. And I'm like, what? And he was like, look, Scotty right there. So, I went to talk to Scotty. Shout out to Scotty Unscripted. We talked and I was telling him how, a lot of people view him being, anti-SU. And he was like, nah, it's not that I'm anti-SU. He was like, I just don't see the hype, And he was like, y'all kind of like, even though he a Dallas Cowboy fan, that's what he said. He was like, y'all kind of view like Dallas Cowboy fans. He was like, basically, as long as I've been following the SWAC, Southern is like an overhyped team, and I haven't seen y'all had the kind of success that, people, and I'm like, well, you had to be here at A.W. Mumford Stadium, like in the mid to late 90s. The early to late 90s. Because 93 to probably about 99, like Southern was the team in the SWAC, like the elite team in the SWAC. So, I was just, me and him was just rapping. We chopped it up for about 10 minutes, him and, his queen, salute to Scotty. And, we just had a productive conversation. He was cool. I don't like, he was real personable, real friendly. So shout out to Scotty. Also, shout out to Swack and Fool. They was in the building, they shot him out of a PA system. And, I saw him on the sideline, stepping, whatever. So, into the game itself, I still got to set the background in terms of, it was a real family-friendly environment, people of all ages, from like young kids to like elderly couples that been married longer than I've been living. You see a lot of them in A.W. Mumford Stadium, a lot of black love, just an excellent atmosphere, in A.W. Mumford Stadium itself. Of course, the little youngsters, they outside, you could, smoking on a loud, just alcohol all over the place. But, that was on the outside. But in the inside of A.W. Mumford Stadium, it was a much better, more family-friendly environment. Southern, go out for the opening toss. And Alcorn State won the opening toss, and they deferred to the second half. So they deferred to the second half. Southern got the ball and immediately just went straight down the field, pretty much primarily through the running game. Kendrick Grimes was the workhorse on that particular drive. They literally got the ball down to the probably 3, maybe 2.5 yard line. And it was 4th and 1 from the 3, maybe 2.5. And I ain't gonna lie, the play call was questionable. I don't know if Coach Terrence Graves made the play call, offensive coordinator Mark Frederick. Either way, it was a questionable play call. They lined up in the eye. And all teams have tendencies. But you can't run the exact same play every single time when you're in the exact same scenario. So basically, they put Barry Remo, for those individuals that don't know, Barry Remo was the feature back last year at Catholic High, when they won the state championship. And Barry Remo is like, I'm going to say he might be about 5'9", maybe 165. So they put him in at the fullback position in the eye. And they gave him the ball and they fake a counter toss or flip 90 to Kendrick Grimes. And Alcorn stopped him like maybe about an inch short of getting the first down. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you've been in this scenario, the same situation a few times. Like, you can't be so predictable in those scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So either way, they were held to the 1 yard line. held like an inch short, and they turned the ball over on downs. A couple plays later, Alcorn State threw an interception, and Southern get the ball right back. And, they really didn't do nothing. Alcorn State get the ball back, and Alcorn State fumbled the ball. Southern really didn't do nothing. They got the ball back. Southern really couldn't capitalize. Basically the first three drives. The first drive, you went all the way to basically the 2-yard line, and you couldn't convert, on, 4th and 1, from about the 2-3 yard line. First two possessions, Alcorn State threw an interception, and then they fumbled. So, for the most part, nothing really happened. Alcorn State, I think on like their third drive, they're on like literally the -35 side of the field. And it was like 4th and 1. I'm like, damn, they going for it? And they went for it. And they gave the ball to Truck, and he ran 65 yards for a touchdown. And I thought to myself, like, no effing way. So they got the touchdown, and now Southern down 7-0. Of course, Southern come back, they answer, they go down the field, get a touchdown of their own. So I'm like, all right, we doing good, And hats off to Noah. I've been riding him the whole season. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I said he is the worst starting quarterback I've seen at Southern University, worse than, the white quarterback that everybody said, oh, y'all didn't like him because he was white. No, we didn't like him because he was trash. If he wouldn't have had a savage defense, a savage offensive line, and a savage running game, he'd probably be the worst quarterback to ever come through Southern. So I said he was worse than Marcus Jacoby. I said he was worse than Harold Blood from last year. And I got to give him his props. He played, he didn't light the world on fire, but he played good tonight. I'm not going to, up until the point he got hurt, he played good. So, shout out to Noah Biden. He played well tonight. So Southern, he the next time, it was 7-7. Alcorn gave the ball back to Southern. Hey, they drove the ball. He made some good passes. Because for the most part, we know that Alcorn State run defense was suspect. And it was very suspect. But it got to a point where they knew Southern was just going to just feed the ball to Kendrick Grimes, feed the ball to Kobe Dillon, feed the ball to Kendrick Grimes, feed the ball to C.J. Russell. So, for the most part, the defensive line was gearing up to stop the run. And I'm not going to lie, Noah, he made some timely running plays. He made some timely passing plays. Shouts out to him. My hat's off to Noah. I don't lie. He played good tonight. I got to give him his props, If I'm put you down when you're not playing well, I got to give you your praise and give you your props when you do well. He did well tonight. And Southern went down the field, pretty much, a balanced attack. He threw the ball well on that drive. They scored. So now the score is 14-7 in favor of Southern. So now we got about 55 seconds left. Alcorn State get the ball back. And the most questionable call, I'm not going to lie, the SWAC officials, if I'm going to ride somebody like Noah for not playing well, I got to ride SWAC officials. I'll probably say since about 90, probably since 94 after Southern won their first SWAC championship, like 94 to now. It seems like Southern, even when they're at home, they don't get no calls. And I'm not saying they don't ever get calls, but the vast majority of the calls go against them. And don't get me wrong, Southern, over the years, they've been known to lack discipline. But, man, some of these calls are blatant. So it was either 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, and Alcorn State just basically run a quarterback sweep to the left. So, teams out coach, we call it like 17 sweep or 19 sweep. Essentially, that's what it was. So they run a sweep, and Willie Miles got good penetration, like real good penetration. One of Alcorn State's offensive linemen tackles Willie Miles on the ground. And, it allowed the quarterback to get to the edge and get in and score a touchdown with 20 seconds left in the first half. And Willie Miles is standing there, he holding his hand. I'm like, hey, y'all not going to call this? And basically they didn't. And then the referee literally is standing right there. It's not like he blocked him and pancaked him and knocked him out. He literally tackled him to the ground. And the referee was standing right, and he said nothing. So, that pretty much went on all night. So, at halftime it was 14-14. Then, Alcorn got the ball to start the second half. They really didn't do much. Then Southern got the ball, and I'm not going to lie, Kendrick Grimes really went to work. I'm not going to lie, the offensive line, but I got to tip my hat to them because, for the most part, early in the season, especially against McNeese State, they were like extra trash against McNeese State. And it was just extra trash just from, at the beginning of the year. And they really improved week after week. So I got to tip my ass down. I got to give them props and give them credit. They pretty much leaned on Alcorn State's defensive line. They grinded them out. And they really got the ball down the field. They ended up settling for a Joshua Griffin field goal. Southern goes up 17-14. And then after that point, Alcorn drove the ball a little bit. But they ended up, turning the ball over on downs, if I'm not mistaken. I'll take that back. They punted the ball. Southern ended up getting it. And what ended up happening after that is, Kendrick Grimes just ended up busting one. And that pretty much ended up being the end of the game. And, they tried to drive. Southern pretty much went into a prevent type defense. Kelby Givens, see another one. Kelby Givens was a dog tonight. In some of the instances, he didn't actually make tackles, but, when they went to their, option type game with, zone reads and faking the toss and quarterback keeping, he was excellent on that. Sometimes I think they really was trying to bait him into over pursuing at certain points, and he stayed disciplined. Only thing I don't like is sometimes I think he got to do a better job when he pass rushing or just been in the corner. A lot of times, he won't spin back inside. You're going into the traffic. You got to get outside and get up the field. And in certain instances, they ran TE games, to get him going up the field. He would start outside, the D tackle will come out, loop out, and he would go in and, run some TE games to kind of get him going. But other than that, I'm not going to lie, he another one. I think he played well. I think the defense just overall played well. It was kind of reminiscent of Dog Day D type performances from 93, 95. I'm not going to lie, they played well at certain points tonight. So, that pretty much was the icing on the cake. Southern went to really a prevent defense. And that pretty much was the end of the game. Southern was able to just run the clock out for the last minute or so, 2 minutes or whatever the game. And that was the end of the game. It was a complete performance. At one point, Noah, he dropped back the pass and he took off, he ran. He got the first down and he went for a slide. And one Alcorn State's players, once he started going to the slide, they hit him. To me, it was a personal foul, but he ended up getting injured on the play. And Xavier T-Set came in the game, former Scotlandville High starting quarterback, star player at Scotlandville High School. He came in the game. And from that point forward, Southern already pretty much leaning on the running game. And, basically I was saying the whole night, hey, just stick with the run, and, throw the ball occasionally, but pretty much depend on the running game. And they did that big time tonight. Kendrick Grimes, he had 17 carries for I think 135 yards, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 touchdowns. And Kobe Dillon had 90, if I'm not mistaken, I think 98 yards. So they did an excellent job running the ball tonight. The running game is really kind of what put Southern University over the top. The defense played well also. So, this is kind of what I've been calling for, a complete game on both sides of the ball. The running game, they played complimentary football. A couple of times they made some questionable decisions in terms of the punt and return game. One instance, a Southern University guy on the punt return team, he was blocking somebody and the ball hit him and he fell on it. And 3 Alcorn State players fell on him, and when they were on the bottom of the pod, they ended up getting the ball. They came up with the ball, but the referee, I guess they saw he recovered it. Southern was able to keep possession of the ball. And then in addition to that, one other play, Alcorn State punted the ball. And the punt returner, he was getting away. Because at one point, Chandler Whitfield was the punt returner, but he made a couple questionable decisions, so they ended up replacing him. So I don't remember who it was, but he was returning the punt, and he got away like 5 of Alcorn State's gunners and players going out of the field to cover the punt. They ended up grabbing him and trying to push him on the ball so he could touch the ball and they could recover the fumble. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what are we teaching at Alcorn? Come on, man, what is this? So the referee ended up throwing a flag. I thought it was going to be a personal foul, but they called it holding, and, they ended up getting 10 yards from the spot. So that was like, some of the like funny moments and highlights of the game. But overall, I'm not going to lie, it was an excellent homecoming, 2024. Southern University, they played exceptionally well. I was thoroughly pleased. I was very impressed. I was impressed by the offensive line play. I was impressed by the running game. I was impressed by Noah. In terms of they didn't even have to throw the ball not once because Alcorn State defense, they did not force him to throw the ball because the running game just kind of gradually wore him down. And once he came in the game, all he did was hand the ball off to Kendrick Grimes and to Kobe Dillon. And that pretty much was a wrap. So overall, I was thoroughly impressed tonight. I think Horatio Johnson was the one that ended up catching the interception. And I think on the way home, I was listening to it. I think Coach Richardson said he had like 8 or 9 tackles tonight. So overall, it was a overwhelmingly surprising and pleasant game. I was happy with the way Jags played. A very impressive performance. So shout out to Coach Terrence Graves. Shout out to the entire coaching staff. Shout out to, Southern University Jaguars football team. They handled business tonight. They got the dub. So let's keep this positive momentum going. Let's go to Tallahassee and let's beat FAMU because, J-State ended up coming back to beat FAMU from what I understand. They won the game tonight. So, I was impressed with Southern University's performance tonight. If you found any value in this video, like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Also, click the notification bell so you could be alerted anytime I'm posting any new videos. Go check out my brother Jared 11 Green. Tomorrow, Southern Baller Show, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, go check out my brother Brent Fox on his channel with his show. It's just me starring Brent Fox. Also, go check out my brother Cadillac Red, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. He has 2 channels. He has Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, which is his primary channel, and his secondary channel, Supreme Beast After Hours. Our other brother, one of the usual suspects, 503 Lion, and myself, we do the Coach's Playbook on Thursdays. The last 2 Thursdays, my junior high team, we had games. The season ended this past Thursday. So hopefully we get back to the Coach's Playbook. And also go check out the General 7A Sports TV on his channel, and especially his backup channel, the LDBC General. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. It was an amazing homecoming. Just amazing performance by the football team. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening, blessed and phenomenal day. Catch y'all on the rebound. Peace and blessings, and go Jags!